Hello and welcome. Here in Married to Purpose, we discuss matters of the heart because what comes from the heart truly reaches the heart. I am Lady Alisa, your inspirational midwife, on a mission to help you discover, uncover, and recover your God defined purpose on purpose. Today, let's talk about stirring the pot of stress. Still on the topic of perception and deception, stirring the pot of stress. Think about this. As you reflect on your interactions with other people, how do you respond when you're upset or stressed? If we are going to be diligent about de-stressing our lives, we must learn how to manage stress. Stress overload is a contributing factor in most cases to depression. Yes, in hectic, fast-paced lives that so many of us have, we are faced with hundreds of choices a day, from simple to complex. The demands of deciphering all of one's choices can become overwhelming, especially if we tell ourselves that we can never make a mistake because we must be perfect. How we manage our stress and teach ourselves to de-stress can and will make the difference. Here are a few things that we can learn to do in order to prevent life from getting the best of us. Oh, because it can definitely get the best of us if we are not paying attention. As we learn to do these things and practice them, we will find that we are better able to handle stress instead of feeling overwhelmed by it. One thing we can do is take care of our bodies. We can't be deceived. Okay? So we're talking about taking care of our bodies through exercise, diet and exercise for building stress prevention. And in addition to those things, one of the best ways to help our bodies de-stress is to teach it how to relax and breathe deeply. Yes, it's as simple as that. When we are anxious or in pain, our muscles tighten, our bodies feel tense, our emotions are agitated, and our breathing can get shallow. There are relaxation techniques that can help us lower our physical tension as well as emotional stress. But we must learn how to use them and how to use them correctly. And that is not as easy as it seems. Let me tell you something that happened to me. When I was pregnant, my husband and I signed up for Lamaze class to prepare for natural childbirth. I attended the class and learned everything I could. But guess what? On the first go around, I practiced, I did my exercises, and everything was smooth sailing. The second time around, I didn't practice. I told myself it was so easy the first time, I didn't need to practice this time. Oh, was I wrong? As childbirth progressed, I could not concentrate. I could not focus on relaxing my body. Just as with any other skill that we learn, it takes repeated and regular practice for us to learn how to relax our bodies. You heard the term before, mind over matter. Well, guess what? It is true, and it does work if you use it. Learning how to breathe deeply can help you relax your body and mind and bring a heightened sense of well-being. Don't be deceived, because that second go around, oh, I was deceived. Because the physiological changes that deep breathing produces can counter some of the negative effects of stress on the body. Simply breathe in slowly through your nose, hold it a second or two, and then fully exhale through your mouth. Do that a few times and notice how much better you feel. Once you've learned how deep breathing feels, you can do it inconspicuously while waiting in line at the grocery store, waiting an extended time at a doctor's appointment, in a snarled traffic jam, or anytime you feel tense or stressed, in order to relax your body and your mind. The second thing we can do is accept limitations. Don't be deceived. We must emotionally accept the reality that we are human beings. We're not super beings. That may sound odd, as it may, but many of us try to ignore the reality. Yes, many of us wear many different hats. However, we cannot ignore the reality. We cannot refuse to accept that we are finite, limited people who don't know everything, can't do everything. We are not perfect. We need sleep. Sometimes we get ill, and sometimes we just don't make the best choices or the right decisions. I'm not saying anything you don't already know. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but knowing it and accepting it are two totally different things. Let's be real. Listen to your self-talk when you are faced with the reality of your limitations. Do you say something like, I should have known better, or I should have been able to stop that from happening? If so, you believe a lie that you should be all knowing or all powerful. Now, don't get it twisted. We can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. Do you berate yourself for your sins and mistakes? Perhaps on one hand, you acknowledge that you're not perfect, but emotionally, you just won't accept it. That is utter deception. Don't be deceived. When you cannot emotionally accept that you are not perfect, you can't emotionally accept God's forgiveness or his help. You may accept it with your mouth and with your words, but are your emotions aligned with that truth? Think about it. Instead, you may tell yourself that you shouldn't need it because you should be better than that. Deception. Accepting our humanity means we know, we accept, and we live within our limits. And again, we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. But in and of ourselves, we can't do everything. We cannot do it. So we have to accept that part of the reality, because we don't try to play God or be God. We recognize that we need more than ourselves to manage our lives successfully. We need God. That awareness is good because when because then we can run to the God who loves us and wants us even when we mess up. Rather He does not condemn us like we are so prone to condemn ourselves. Jalila, you are really distracting me. Sorry. Okay? Don't be deceived because you're distracting me. Okay? Rather, I forgive you. He forgives us. Just like I had to forgive my daughter, I extended her an olive leaf because she was being a major distraction. She's sitting over there throwing up Legos or something in the air while I'm talking to you all. Just a distraction. Nevertheless, God forgives us and helps us to change so that we grow to become a holy person, a whole person. Thank God for Jesus Christ who gives us strength, because in and of ourselves, we cannot do everything. Okay? So we're not going to deceive ourselves. We are going to accept the reality that we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength, but we are not going to believe that we are superhuman beings. Do me a favor. If you like what I've shared, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, I am Lady Alisa, your inspirational midwife. And don't forget to come back again when we continue our discussion on stirring the pot of stress. Bye for now.